I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about what I found, and so you kind of get an idea of what that would reveal for you. Basically what I do is I take one piece of content and I look at it and I see from a content marketing perspective what is there and what is missing, and I make some recommendations. And so for this particular audit, what I did was I did a website content audit for a gentleman, and I'm just going to go through my findings with you and kind of show you where I found he could make some improvements for his business. So he did have a lot of social media channels, and so he was on a lot of the main social media channels, which that was good. And his name and of his business was very clear. His central message for the business was unclear. I found several throughout the website, and so it was kind of confusing exactly what his central message was, and it wasn't really clear and concise to me. It is always recommended that you use a tagline. He had, again, several that could have been a tagline, but I was unclear as to whether those were his taglines or not. And then his offering was a little bit clear. In several places he mentioned training, but there was no training on the website available, and how to get the training was unclear. There was no paid training. There was a free training program that was offered. However, there wasn't a lead magnet for that. So he could have been using that opportunity to create an email list with a lead magnet to go through this. He did have some digital books for sale, and he had some other offers to support people, but it wasn't real clear as to how he would provide that support. Who he helped and what their pain points were was not clear to me. There were some phrases about, kind of people that he helped, but it wasn't, for me, from my marketing perspective, it wasn't clear enough. It wasn't specific enough. It was very general, and I would want to make that more specific. There was no visual display of the success that he provides to his clients or his audience. There was no testimonies or testimonials. I think that would have been nice to see. And let's see, navigating the website was easy. However, I think that his navigation menu could have been reordered to make more sense. There was a newsletter sign up. However, when I signed up for the newsletter, nothing happened, and I still haven't received anything, and it's been a while. He did have some blog posts on his website, but there weren't that many, and it was obvious that they weren't being posted on a regular basis. There was a lot of content on the website. However, it was kind of confusing as to what you should do first, what you should do next, and exactly what you're supposed to do. So a good headline is always important for either blog posts, products, or your calls to actions and your website pages. I did not think that his headlines were strong enough to hold attention and grab attention. They weren't what we call hooks, that draw people in. His copy was not real clear and concise. It needs some work. It needs to be proofread and edited. I did find several grammatical errors, typing errors, or whatever. There were lots of opportunities that I saw, one of them being the email lead magnets. There was a sign up for the newsletter, like I said, but when I signed up, nothing happened. There was some good content, free content that kind of took you through a training thing that would have been a good opportunity for an email lead magnet. He needs some good hooks, some good headlines. Let's see. I think the training that's mentioned is missing, and a paid training program I think would be a good opportunity for him. I also filled out his contact us form on the website, and again, nothing happened. So I don't know if that's working or if it's not checked very frequently, but it does not appear to be working. And there were some links that I found that were broken. And that's not only bad for user experience, but it also downgrades your website ranking and is not good for your website. I was unclear as to what his main keywords were. The keywords that I found through my research that certain tools show as his keywords, he did not show up on the front page of Google except for one. And so that was good, but should that be his main keyword is my question. I will discuss that with him. And in copy, we always want our sentences and paragraphs to be short and concise and easy to understand. And I did not always find that, so that I think that that copy needs some work. And then when I tried to do a competitor analysis, it wasn't clear to me who his competitors are, because the other companies that I found were offering slightly different types of services and products. So I'll have to have a conversation with him about exactly who his competitors are and what they're offering. It's always nice to know what your competitors are doing. And then based on the competitors that I did find that might be possible competitors, they weren't really comparable. And so that made my client not stand out from his competition, which is always a good thing to do. I did not find his copy on the website to be compelling in a lot of places. And then you always want to have a good call to action. And the only really good call to action that I saw was to join his free training, again, that had no lead magnet to it or email sign up, which I think is a big missing opportunity. There's no urgency on any of his calls to action. He did have the newsletter sign up, but again, when I signed up, nothing happened. He does have a shop with some digital products. There's no urgency. So I'm not sure that that people are actually buying them. It's another question I'll have to ask. And there's not, I did kind of look at the Facebook, social media content too, and again, I wasn't seeing really any urgency for his offers. It was not clear to me exactly what his marketing strategy is. I really couldn't tell that there is a good, strong marketing strategy there based on his website content and his social media content. So I will have to have that conversation with him as well and kind of make sure that there is a strategy, or if he's just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something sticks, because I see that a lot, that people are missing the strategy piece. They're just kind of throwing content out there and hoping that it works. That's not a good strategy, guys. You want to have a strategy. So that's something that I can help him with as well. Let's see. Like I said, his competitors are doing something completely different than what I saw on his website. And that's about it. So I have a lot of conversations that I want to have with him that I found from his website content. And content audits, whether that be your website, your social media, your newsletter, maybe it's an email or a newsletter piece or a blog article that you'd like me to critique. I hope to hear from you, and I hope that I can give you some great tips on how you can improve your pieces of content for your content marketing for your business. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will hopefully talk to you soon. Bye-bye.